Live from Music City, Nashville, Tennessee. This is your motivational, sensational, inspirational, educational, aspirational, international, keenly awaited, daily created, highly anticipated edition of the Afternoon Swing Trading Floor with your humble host, Jeremy Alexander Newsom, with another daily dose of mentally delicious brain food, reminding each of you to love life, live life, and yeah, there we go. There we go. There we go. Mike says, where's everyone at the bar? Dude, they're hammered. Everyone is just hammered. No, so Thursday was the day in the schedule where we, from 12:30 to 6 was absolute, well, sorry, let me try to back this up. At 12:30 onward for the rest of the day was just do whatever you guys want, go explore Nashville. So some people stuck around and some people are out and about partying, exploring, things like that. So Thursday, we just kind of had a little bit of a lax afternoon. We went hard in the paint most of the morning, traded a lot. The morning looked amazing, and then the afternoon did not look amazing. So, or at least for the bulls, right? But this was a really, really clean thing in general. We gapped up this morning, and keep in mind, we were up really, really big. We pulled right into the moving averages, and we're still around these all-time high levels. The good news is you have a very, very clean, super, super obvious level that if we can eventually break out of here, something like that, the market's just off to the races. So based on this candle, a lot of the analysis that I've been doing on both TrendSpider and TradingView, I would love SPY to come down to the 320 level. That would make tons of sense to me. I don't know if it's going to. I'm just saying it could. If it does, that's healthy. It's expected. It's nice. I would be an absolute dip buyer down there. I'd probably have the majority of my position in SPY at that point. Again, just buying low and selling high, selling on last Wednesday on the 2nd at open, and then adding to the position, tiptoeing back in and being able to pull back to 320. So interested to see what we get on the SPY, but in general, I like what we're getting. I think we're getting a version of this where we're going to chop around, bounce around off the 50. It's just going to be a little bit faster. One of these guys will probably happen. And again, long term, bulls will win. I was telling one of my mastermind groups today that there will be a presidential election in 2 months and someone will be elected president. So we will have a president come late November, early December. And that is a fact. I don't know how it's going to impact the market specifically, but general trend is bullish, and I would relatively suspect and expect for some kind of pullback just because that was healthy, and then overall could go higher. So that's it. Now, again, could we pull all the way back to 292? Yeah. So the pullback can be steep, right? The pullback can be steep. I did buy some puts today on the SPY. I got 340 quarterlies, which is, I think, the very, very last Friday of September, just as a protection. Again, I don't have tons and tons of positions in SPY yet. I'm waiting for it to pull back down, but I am definitely getting into some positions, and the lower we go, the better. But just got a little bit of a put position, nothing crazy, small size in the puts, 4 contracts, just in case we go lower. And if we go higher, beautiful. That's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. Al says, do collars work well also? Do collars work well also? Yeah, man, absolutely, of course. So if you're going to get into a collar, it needed to be somewhere over here, I would imagine, right? Really, really big up days, or at open today or somewhere around yesterday, because you want to buy puts and sell calls on up days. So when I got into the puts, the SPY was more green than red. So it wasn't a down day. It was still an up day. It was just gapping up. So yeah, when you sell calls, you want to sell calls on up days and buy puts on up days. And that's absolutely. Collars work very, very well up in this level for sure. Big fan. So again, we'll see. I do still expect to bounce. I absolutely think we're going to chop a little bit for the next week or two and then eventually go a little bit higher. The Qs hanging out, nothing too crazy or insane. Dow, pretty much the same thing. And the IWM chilling. So we'll see what happens. Some of the moving averages getting a little bit of a cross, and we're getting a little bit of steepness on the drop here. So just going to see what happens, and we'll go from there. Cool deal, Squadron. Let's dive into some stocks that were requested. First on the list is RCM, and this is the daily chart with really good gap, with a really good trend, and a decent direction. Look at this. Wow, look at this gap on the weekly chart. That is a beautiful gap and go. Very nice gap on a weekly, and it's holding. Okay. So if we're looking for swing trades, we're looking for strength. This one has some strength. Let's start planning this trade and just kind of thinking about it and talking about it. Either a pullback or buy the dip opportunity. But we're in all kinds of trades out there in the officials. We got, and we'll look at a lot of them today, but we have retail, we have tech, we have shorts, we have longs, we have all kinds of things. And yep, so we'll see how everything plays out. RCM, today is Thursday, right? So we'll put that on the list again for Friday, RCM, and we'll go from there. Robert says, I had read the pullback was the fastest all-time high to 10% down pullback on the Qs ever. That's cool. I did not read that. It would not surprise me, though. I wouldn't say that's awesome news. Might be some people really, really excited to sell. Let's look at the weekly chart. Yeah, we could go a little bit lower, but 260, I mean, it makes sense if we can go lower. We don't have to, but it absolutely, absolutely makes sense. Yeah, if you can remember where you saw that, I'd like to read it, unless that was it, unless that was the whole article. But yeah, man, feels good to sell high, feels good to buy low. This is the low. These are some pullbacks. This is what we want. This is the dip. And if he buys, he dies. That's where we're at right now for sure. Very cool. Okay, Boeing. So Boeing is still just kind of hanging out. Obviously, we know Boeing is a little bit more on the weak side than the strong side. But there's a lot of traders, like my buddy Lucas has some put sales on Boeing. Philip Williams is in some bullish positions on Boeing. I just think Boeing is going to try to place a really nice trap. So what I'm going to do before I sell some more shares or, buy some shares or sell some puts, look for a trap here to go long. That's about 141.92, right below the low of this ginormous bullish candle. So again, I don't think Boeing's going to go to zero. I think a lot of people are going to try to short it. I do think it's going to have a little bit of weakness, but then again, I think that's probably going to be a buying event because Boeing's not going to go zero. It's just going to hang out and be choppy for a while. It's not going to be sexy. It's not going to be pretty, but you know, we'll see from there what Boeing does. Here's Apple, AAPL. And this one really tricked a lot of traders, Apple today. Now, the thing is, it was a good gap. We did, here in the day trading room, play Square. And I did lose. We lost small in Square. We'll definitely talk about Square today. Let me just make sure Square's on the list. Square, I can't read those that fast. No, it's not. Okay, so I'll put Square. I'll just put it next. I'll talk about how we played Square in the day trading room. But here's pretty much what happened on Apple. It really, really was the nice gap. The thing is, you just have a 7% move over the course of 2 or 3 days, right? We mentioned that it would be very unhealthy for the stocks to do that, markets just do that. That would not be healthy. And Robert says everything looked the same. Yeah, exactly. So everything was kind of gapping up, these 2-day candles. The market needs more of a rest. We really, really, really should just not do this. So this gap up today seemed a little bit more selly, in my opinion, on Apple. I didn't personally play Apple today, but here's the 5-minute candle. And for those who did play Apple, I get it. I fully understand it. This is the S curve. This is the retest, right? Gapped up, traded down. There's the bounce. It was just once this candle got taken out, but obviously once this candle got taken out for sure. One of those two bullish candles, the trend was simply not bullish at that point. Now, again, when you're using the moving averages, right, you can use the extended hours, or the non-extended or the extended hours. So here's both. In the extended hours, you can see we just poked our head one time above the moving averages, and then just rolled over. So I get it. I didn't personally play Apple today. I just felt that the market most likely needed a little bit more of a pullback. I could have shorted it, and I guess theoretically should have. But yeah, again, just let it hang out. Let it do its thing. I know it's a pullback. It's really not that big of a pullback. So we're talking 20%, which is really okay, decently healthy, but I think we can go a little bit lower, 107, something like that. Because again, Apple was just on an absolute tear. I mean, look at the monthly chart. Look at this thing. So this pullback is good. I would really like it to fill this gap down here around 107 and just let it pause, let it hang out, let it chop around for a few times, for a while. I'm not going to be aggressively trading Apple for a bit. Again, that's just me personally. It doesn't mean you can't make money on it. I'm sure Angela bought some dips today, and it makes perfect sense. Buying low, selling high. So again, you can trade anything. Just understand that when you're trading these high levels, you want to buy as low as you can, which is here, and sell as high as you can, which is this open. That's all. So buy low, sell high. So Square, I actually really like the way we played Square today. We played it extremely well. I just was not quite fast enough, and I tried to hold. Well, I didn't try. I held for a little too long. A little too long. So this was the extended hours. I mean, looking at it, it's so obvious that I should have sold more where I did, but we did play this 3-minute candle here by here. So we set that up. We got triggered in. I did exit 10% right there, and we should have exited everything. That would have been the call of the day if we did exit everything there, but I didn't. And oh well. So should have sold everything. I sold 10%, so we didn't lose a full R, but that is the price that we should have sold all of it on Square. And then Square just absolutely bit the dust. Yates, did you ever play Square Bears today? No? So anyway, long story short, Square took out some bull candles, definitely made some traps, had a little bit of selling, and Robert says he got a half an hour on Square, was in for a whole 3 minutes. Nicely done, my man, nicely done. It was a good gap. I was a little too conservative on the exit. Other than that, again, all stocks need a little bit of a pullback. Square, no different. You actually have a really nice failure here of these moving averages. So again, it'll be interesting to see what happens. A little bit of a gap up tomorrow. You know, we can throw in some lower shadows. We can bounce. If you're day trading some stuff, just make sure it looks different than the broader market right now. That's going to be my biggest advice, and that's normally my advice when I'm day trading, is just look for things that are acting different overall. Okay, Redfin. Speaking of looking different, Redfin is one of these stocks that are looking different. Shout outs to Craig Levine. Good job, Craig. So Craig played Redfin, I think 3 times now, just buying a dip, having a stop loss, and selling it. I think he sold it at 50 or 51 on Redfin. So good job, Craig. And this thing made it all the way up to 55 today. So there's a lot of volume coming in. Could this be exhaustion volume? You know, that's a really good question. It could be. It could be. It's a pretty massive upper shadow. Let me go in really quick into TrendSpider and just look at that as a raindrop and see if people were buying that towards the close, or if that was really, if they were selling that hard. Let's go check out raindrop. Does anyone else think of that? Oh, nope. No absorption up there. One candle intraday. Just one, it was one random candle. Yeah. Some kind of news event. Should have had some limit sales on there up there, but anyway, I can live with that. So one candle, that's okay. That's nothing too bad. So you just got some selling. In general, I like Redfin. I mean, making new all-time highs. The trend looks good. This put sale's gone, and yeah, keep it on Redfin. In general, I think it's stronger than a lot of stocks out there. I like the sector that it's in, and I really like these moving averages right here on the weekly chart. So talk about a really nice trend. Looks different than the market. It's a technology that a lot of us, I think, could easily research, get some information on, and this could be a very fun stock to trade and or just watch for a while. I do have positions in Redfin. Okay, another one. This one was absolutely fantastic today, DraftKings. So DraftKings was really, really brilliant. You got a phenomenal gap right above the open. We talked about this on, let's see, Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday. So Tuesday, we talked about inside day, bullish candle. Wait for it to gap above the high. It did so yesterday. Beautiful trend, and then did it again today. Here's the 5-minute chart on DraftKings. And shout outs to Philip Williams. He's out playing golf right now with 3 other real-life traders. But he did recognize this hammer right here on DraftKings and was just a little too slow at getting in on it. So beautiful, beautiful retest. Why did it retest? Well, it was a retest gap. So that's why I retested. Mike says they posted in Slack. He just got 4 birdies. Wow. Nice. 4 birdies in a row. Killer. How much money's on this game? Yeah, so the boys, you got some boys out there playing some golf. And if you turn the extended hours off on DraftKings, you can see, again, just a nice little retest. Really, really good curvature. I like it. So, again, football season opens tonight. It's going to be cool, and we're going to watch it, keep a close eye on it. And this one does look different than the broader markets, folks. It absolutely does. So I am a fan of DraftKings. This one could become a potential weekly options newsletter, but we really, really need to keep an eye on this one for a long trade. On some kind of pullback or gaps, it can continue. This one I might also consider maybe doing a leap on at some point soon. Trend looks good. It's doing something different than the market. It's showing a lot of strength, and I think that we all know how DraftKings makes money. And bottom line, if you do play in fantasy football or fantasy sports, you should probably make some money or try to make some money on DraftKings. All right, so there we go. DraftKings CHWY. So CHWY came out with earnings. Let's go see what we got. Quarterly net sales of $1.7 billion grew 47% year over year. That means my boy Matt DeLong has officially become interested in CHWY. Quarterly loss per share, only 8 cents. Sales did good. Net sales, wow, 6.7 billion in net sales already. That is quite impressive. Gross margin, let's go get it on FinViz. They don't have it on that exact statement, but we can go check it out. Plus, your boy Matt DeLong has 2 fur babies. Gross margin, 23.7 only. But it's not bad. I've made some money on some 23%er gross margin companies. Plus, again, I think we all know how CHWY makes money. They're really good customer service. I like the trend a lot. And, man, those are some strong numbers. Strong numbers. Already getting 6.7 billion in sales net for 2020. That's good. That's good. Weekly chart. Look at this trend. Oh, man. CHWY. That's where we want to buy that. Something like that on CHWY. Steven says, earnings were good. Price is down a little bit. Yeah, it's small. It's down very, very small after hours. I'll be buying back this covered call on it, though, and just waiting around, see if I want to resell it. But, yeah, it should be interesting to see what happens. Earnings were really good. I like CHWY. I like these earnings. I like the stock. I like the company. I'm going to keep some real close eyes on CHWY. It's on the list for Monday. Next Monday will be Merchant Monday, so we'll check out CHWY. Okay, gray Bitcoin, GBTC. So Bitcoin's down a little bit. I mean, it's just rotating. I still think it's retesting an inverted head and shoulders pattern neckline. Although it does kind of look a little bit like the broader market. This one is not quite as pretty as the actual Bitcoin chart itself, but here is the potential inverted head and shoulders pattern. And the neckline of this pattern is a little lopsided. It looks something like that. So we could trade all the way back down to low 9s, high 8s on GBTC. We could chop around, we could trade sideways, but this is the weekly chart. So if next week we start taking out the high of this week's candle, that would show a little bit of bullish optimism, I feel like. And then again, if we just go look at the actual hero himself, the Bitcoin, you do have the nice inverted head and shoulders pattern. I'm gonna remove that target and just kind of play around with Bitcoin and see what it does. Daily charts consolidating nicely at the 100. I like that. Even though you did have a really, really quick drop, I do like the fact that it's holding up. And we still have yet to close above 12,000. So whenever we close above that 12,000 mark on a weekly chart, that'll be a good sign, but it's going to be a while, or at least so it seems. And then the other crypto that was requested was Ethereum. And Ethereum has been posting some really, really solid strength recently. Edward says, is 9,500 a good buy for Bitcoin? Yes. And this is a good buy price for Ethereum pretty much anywhere in this general area. I like this weekly chart. This weekly chart looks brilliant. Good close above resistance. Nice upper shadow here. Let me go pull up ETH/USD. And let me go to a weekly chart. Edward says, I got some more Ethereum at 333. Nice. Okay, let's go hollow candles. Throw me a weekly chart. Turn these bad boys off. Okay. I like this area. This is a nice area. I dig it. Okay, cool deal. Anyway, long story short, 333, good price. Edward looks pretty. All right, next on the list is Nuance Communications. We looked at this one a few times, and Nuance, a lot of volume. Held up today even though the market was selling. Didn't get the best of closes. Closing time. It did close with okay volume, but the trend is, yeah. Again, stock's been around for a while. I just want to buy it off the retest of this old high. So if I'm playing Nuance, ticker symbol NUAN, I want to buy it around 26. 26. Otherwise, trend looks nice. Don't have any position in NUAN. And it does seem like it's stronger than the broader market. So that's kind of cool. All right, sweet. Delta Airlines. We still have a weekly options newsletter set up on Delta. This needs to trigger between now and close of market on Tuesday of next week. So tomorrow is Friday, then we have Monday, Tuesday. If it doesn't trigger, then we'll just cancel it and move on. Still looks okay though. Still looks okay. So Delta, I guess we don't have a position on it yet, but maybe we'll have one. Daily looks okay. Weekly looks okay. Yeah, I like the close above that. It's a matter of time before this thing hits the 50 on the weekly. It could take another few weeks, but I do think it is a sooner rather than later situation. So that's my thoughts on Delta. Emily says, getting close. The mid was 365. Yeah, getting close. Getting close. Some of the implied volatility is getting dried up a little bit. If you're looking at playing the stock limit by 30.78 would be the stock price that I would look for it to get down to on Delta. Again, the October $30 calls. Okay, cool deal. Next on the list is the DOCU. So DocuSign finally having a good pullback with good volume. I love this pullback on DocuSign. I think it's brilliant. Speaking of, let's go look at DocuSign. I think this is another favorite of Matt DeLong's. DocuSign gross margin 74%. Now we're talking. They can make some money off those margins. Yeah, so DOCU, I think we all know how this one makes money, and we probably all use it, and most likely all like it. I would, and I will be buying some DocuSign if we can get down to here. That's my level. Let's see if we can pull back to 176-ish. I don't mind waiting it out. I don't mind giving it a little bit of time. Obviously, it looks a little bit broader market related right now, or at least it looks tied to it. But yeah, I could definitely snag some DocuSign about 176. So we'll look at that next Tuesday and see what that's doing. All right, American Airlines, which is ticker symbol AAL, is pancake flat. Pancake flat. Yeah, looks good. And by looks good, I mean, if you like really flat moving things that aren't doing anything. So you got inside candle, Delta looks better than American. American is just sideways, but if, you know, American gets a pop, it'll be a very, very quick one. And that's pretty much it. We're starting to get a Bollinger Band squeeze though, I believe, on, yep, American Airlines. There it is. The Bollinger Band, the squeeze. Now, the last time it closed inside the band, it immediately gapped up and then got wrecked. We'll see if that happens again, but anyway, kind of relatively boring. Norwegian, we were cheering for Norwegian all day today. And the live retreat, apparently it doesn't matter. Got another ginormous upper shadow. It just refuses to sell. I was profitable again on Norwegian today. Again could have sold. Again didn't hit my target. So I guess we're trying to wait out and be as patient as we can. Again, we have October, so we got some time. Here's the weekly chart, and really we want to close above the 20 EMA. If we can happen on Friday, that would be amazing. I would love, love, love a close on Friday above the 20. So we'll look at this one tomorrow. We'll see if it can close. Jacob says, it didn't hit your target even when all of y'all were cheering for it. I know, man. It got super close. I think it hit 330 at one point today, but didn't hit 365. The crazy part is at this point, the longer we consolidate, the more I'm going to make that target. So if we consolidate like this, I would say into another week or two, if we don't take out that resistance, I'll probably make that target $4. So we'll see how it closes tomorrow. It did have some good strength today. I like the strength. This was the 3-minute chart, and it just happened really, really quick. It was just this morning started running. So we shall see. Okay, that's Norwegian. Next is Overstock, OSTK. And Overstock, really interesting gap up today. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. That closed above all 3 days. That was an inside pennant pattern gap up. Oh my goodness, that's a very interesting signal. Huh. This one was not on my list at all today. It was on FinVid. Yeah, I mean, I believe it. Edward says, my bad. No, Edward, this dude, it's his fault. We can blame Chris Short now, don't worry. Yeah. Chris is drinking bourbon while attending class today. So it's definitely not your fault, Edward. Mike says, nice. Hey, it's a retreat, you know. Trade, have fun, relax, and burb is the word. So I definitely miss Overstock. I'm not actually that mad about it looking at the chart. I don't know how I would have traded it other than maybe doing a limit buy there, putting a stop down there. Would have gotten terrified right there. Probably would have exited up here anyway. I don't know. But I don't think I'm going to miss it tomorrow. I don't think we're going to miss this one tomorrow. Friday morning. Zeus says I didn't play it though. Why not? Don't you focus on Overstock every day, Zeus? It's one of your go-tos, man. I mean, I can't make fun of you. I didn't trade it. So it does. That was a beautiful, beautiful open. That and Wayfair, which my buddy Mark found Wayfair, and I mean, it absolutely dive bombed later in the day. But this 2-minute chart was just a disaster for the bears. Look at this gap up on Wayfair. Overstock looks stronger with the close, but this open, look at this open, 3 days over the open. Amazing, amazing call out. And Mark did try to set that up. He just missed it by a few pennies, and that would have been a home run trade. I like Wayfair and Overstock to continue. I like Overstock more. It's hard to really put into words this pattern, but you got tons and tons of volume. It's like if it gapped down, it would trap the bulls. And if it gapped up, it would trap some bears. I like it. Let's watch Overstock the next 2 or 3 days pretty closely and see if we can day trade that. There's some momentum brewing on the Overstock. Overstock, dad cat. All right, next on the list is blue, AZUL. And again, I wanted this one to be an inside day candle, right? So we're waiting. I do like the gap. Let's go look at the 5-minute chart. Yeah, I want to buy it here. I'd really like to buy it there. That'd be great. All right, so I'm gonna lower this limit. I want it to pull back, and we'll come back and look at that one tomorrow. If that still looks good tomorrow, we can set that up. We definitely are in some swing trades, which I'm sure we can look at later today, but we've absolutely gotten filled on some, without question. So we'll go check them out. But anyway, AZUL, absolutely interesting to find out what happens there. We'll come back to it tomorrow. Okay, Tesla. So Tesla on the daily chart. So I mentioned to a lot of us, both in the live event and on Slack and numerous other places, that this was a good day to either A, sell some calls if you have some shares, B, if you have some long calls, sell some calls against it. I did all of the above. So I got the 500 call sale for this next Friday for $500 for $2.50 at open. So really nice. I mean, again, chipping a chair, right? Chipping away. I actually do love the gap. I really, really like the close on Tesla today. I do. It was just a very obvious place to sell if you needed to sell. I'm not saying you had to sell. I'm saying if you needed to sell, that was the time to do it. Great open. I mean, Tesla was up a measly, what, 20% since Tuesday's low? Yeah, 20% since Tuesday's low. And if you go into the 30-minute chart, check this out. The 30-minute chart's even more hilarious because it was down lower. So it was up 28%, boys and girls, in 2 days. Now, the good news is a lot of us here at the RLT retreat, we're getting into Tesla down here. We were buying it with both hands. Right, Dale? Dale's smiling because my man's in some Tesla 336. Yeah. So again, if it pulls back to that level, still a good spot to buy. Let me actually make this little blue line 336. These green lines were, in fact, as Robert said in the chat pane, the 10 and the 20 EMA. So it was just a good gap up. Again, there's the 10 and the 20. Up 20%, gapping up into above moving averages, overhead, and just a really, really good move. So what I like about Tesla is the volatility has actually died down a lot today because it is up a lot the last 2 days. Volatility was redonkulous on Tuesday. I'm actually already profitable on some of the options that I have on Tesla on the sale side of those because volatility was really, really big last 2 or 3 days. So anyway, long story short, this shows good strength. It really does. Old resistance, new support, something like this is totally doable on Tesla. Let it trade sideways, let it chop around, let it do its thing. Eventually it will go higher, but for the next few days, it's just going to hang out and not do all that much. Okay, that's Tesla, SMH. What is SMH? Why is my screen frozen? Shaking my head. Man, SMH. Your teacher gave you that homework? SMH. All right, shake my head. Or the semiconductor ETF. That's what you should say next time a girl texts SMH to you. Chris, okay? Like, you want to look at the Vanguard Vectors ETF Trust Semiconductor? Wow, okay. What price do you want to buy SMH? 155, 150? You're going to get into a diagonal spread on SMH? Edward says, for the Tesla puts you sold, what's your guideline and when to buy them back? Same guideline as everything, my man. When I hit 50%, I will buy them back, unless, of course, there is more than 6 weeks expiration. Sorry, less than 6 weeks of expiration, then I'll hold till 75%. So I'll buy them back at a 50% premium capture if it happens between now and earnings. Yep. So anyway, good old shake my head, trust ETF looks exactly like the broader market. So whatever the broader market does, this one will also do. And I think it's just going to be a little more slightly weaker towards the bear side than the bull side for the next few days and weeks. Nothing crazy, but just a little sketchy. All right, CrowdStrike. A few of you played CrowdStrike today, and I did like the gap on CrowdStrike. I'm pretty pumped for those who traded it. It just didn't do anything amazing. That's all. So the trade that I missed on CrowdStrike was this purple line. Looking at it, this is how I should have traded it. I didn't because I guess I'm a pansy. I mean, I guess that's the only explanation. But this is the candle. It's a great gap on the daily. It's a really good close on the 5-minute. That's above pre-market resistance. Good volume, 50% of the candle. Why am I not getting in? Don't know. But this is how I should have done it. Bullish limit buy, stop loss right there, and then boom, that didn't fill. Bang, there's your fill right there. So that's it. And then really, really, really good consolidation candles. Very, very nice. Morningstar reversal. If it makes a new high, I'm moving up the stop. Perfect. There goes the stop move from there until probably right about there. Now I'm losing about 0.7, and I'm going to exit something at a new high right here. So again, how am I doing for the month? How am I doing for the week? How am I doing for the day? All those things need to be factored in. But at that point, I mean, that's a perfect S curve. Got to exit something up there. And I didn't do any of it. Mostly because I'm scared. All right, that's pretty much it. Terry says I got 1.25 Rs on crowd. Nicely done, nicely done. It is a good gap though, and again, you could probably watch it tomorrow or the next day. It is showing a lot of strength on CrowdStrike. A lot of strength. So CRWD looking cute. Okay, NVIDIA, NVDA. So NVIDIA, yeah, just let NVIDIA hang out for a while. Just let this one just chill out. Broader market company, really, really powerful move. Has just absolutely crushed, and just such an immaculate, immaculate trend. I'm excited for the next stock to announce an earnings split. I don't know if it's going to be, I don't think it's going to be Amazon, but man, if it's NVIDIA, NVIDIA will run, the market will run. We'll see. I don't know if it's actually going to happen, but NVIDIA, I think, is going to be, would be a candidate that would split. Shopify, yep, that would be a fun one if Shopify announced a split. That would absolutely cause that to go higher. All that Canadian money needs to pile into something. I think it could pile into Shopify. Robert says, I think it could spell problems if more people just start splitting. Yeah, problems in the long term, not the short term, Robert. Who cares about the future? Just kick the can down the road, make cash now. 1877 cash now. The future, what's that? Don't worry, we'll just we'll play it on the downside, you know. If it goes up, we'll make some money, and if it goes down, we'll make some money. Guys, you guys know what to do. That's what's cool. The future is in your hands. We can do anything we want. Nothing to be afraid of. We have education now. We are in the top 1% team. NEO, ticker symbol NIO, just hanging out. Chilling. Jeff says, is NNOX on the list for today? No, sir. I will put on the list for tomorrow. NNOX. So yeah, NEO looks good. Jeff, do you have anything on NEO? I'm pretty sure you got called away, but I don't know if, or you sold your share. I don't know if you did any put sales or anything. I know at one point you had some nice positions in NEO. I don't think Greg Gilbert is here. I don't know if he has any positions in NEO. Greg got called away for a profit. Nicely done, Greg. Yeah, so really Neo's just kind of hanging out for right now. We'll see if it does anything interesting. Just kind of waiting that out. Next on the list, Workhorse, WKHS, gapped up to an all-time high after 3 white candles and then faded down. Makes sense. So, yeah, Workhorse is just hanging out. Hanging out. This is one of those where if you're using the extended hours versus the non-extended hours, really, really helped your analysis, right? Non-extended hours, you can see that the moving averages were bearish. If you turn the extended hours on, they're a little bit more bullish. So the extended hours gave you a much, much prettier picture on how to analyze or play Workhorse, especially after it closed down here below that candle. You had to be considering that it was more bearish than bullish, I would imagine. So anyway, that's Workhorse. Next on the list is Big C, Big Commerce Holdings. Big C had earnings. They weren't great, and they gapped down. Zoshi says, what's the price to sales of Workhorse? I'm trying to think of a fun, like, pun. It's over 9,000. It's high. It's very high. Very, very high. Big Commerce Holdings. What were the earnings on this one? Let's see. Revenue 36.3 million versus estimate of 35. Earnings per share negative 45. Let's go look at Big C over here. I think Matt likes this one a lot less than Shopify. Gross margins are 76% though. It's not bad. 29.7. So they're working on it. They're working on it. We'll see. But yeah, right now, nothing too spectacular on Big C. Again, this is a volatile cookie monster though. So if you like cookies, and let's be honest, who doesn't? This could be one that we can watch just for some really, really aggressive volatility. Josiah, you might want to put this one on your list, man, because this thing moves for your day trades. I mean, I don't know if the bid ask is going to be amazing, but what's the volume on this thing? Yeah, this is volatile, dude. BIGC, Big Commerce. Yep, Big Commerce. All right, next on the list is AYX. And AYX pretty much just looks like the broader market. You've got a high wave hammerish candle and a bunch of inside candles, so we're just waiting it out. It is chilling at the weekly 100. So if AYX closes below here, I will buy some protection on AYX in the form of a protective put if it can close below here. So that is 102.15. If AYX closes below here, most likely October 100 puts. So I'll start that plan. I'm not sure if it'll happen, but if we get it closed below there, it's going to be worth at least having some protection so that we can sleep at night on AYX. Fiverr, FVRR, screaming. So talk about a trend or a company that is not following the market. It's not really a broader market stock. It's actually a newer IPO. And I think we all know kind of in general how Fiverr makes money. My boy Scott, by the way, right, his IPO strategy, buy $1,000 of every IPO at open, is also in Fiverr. And that's working out well for him. I think he was able to buy like 50 shares or something. So that 50 shares turning into a good investment on Fiverr. Really good gap, nice open, good trends. 15-minute chart looks pretty. Chart looks pretty. Yeah, I mean, Fiverr looks nice, team. This looks good. Just, I mean, a brand new all-time high today. It's gapping up again. Let's look for some type of retest or limit buy, but don't be bearish on Fiverr. At least not yet. All right, I think we got plenty of time. BFAM, what is that? Bright Horizons FAM Solutions. What up, fam? Weekly chart. Yeah, it just looks kind of like a lot of other stocks. Not saying it can't go higher, but it is working on a double bottom. You're definitely getting some compression. You're absolutely getting some sideways movement here. Jack Whalen says they do childcare for corporations. Oh, that makes sense. Well, also makes sense while they're down. I get it. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I mean, hasn't been around that long, and this was an amazing, amazing drop. Super quick again, obviously COVID related. Yeah, man, I'd have to be more bullish on this one than bearish. They're going to have to do some interesting pivoting, though, for some longer terms. I'll make sure to kind of keep an eye on earnings and everything on this one. And just keep an eye on research and make sure that whoever's leading that company, that they have a good vision and a good future outlook. And just keep your ears to the grindstone on FAM solutions. Just longer term, just because the whole corporation thing, if they start pivoting and bringing it to the home, I think that could work out well. 10 cent. Man, oh man, I'm still kind of more or less hoping I can get 10 cent down at 55. Is that going to happen? Probably not. But if it does, load the boat. We'll see if it pulls back to 60 first, though. I'll snag a little bit there. Yeah, chart looks good. I mean, it's 10 cent, so that's an unbreakable basket. Let's see how low it can go, but I would really like to pull it back to 54. I could definitely get some at 60, though, on 10 cent. Right now, I don't have any positions on TCHY. Definitely more of a longer-term stock, in my opinion. All right, STNE, Stone Co. Limited, also had a quick snapback, but has recovered nicely. So that shows some nice strength. Weekly chart shows some nice strength. Really, really good close on STNE. That's a big deal. So this one, newer company, newer IPO, breaking out of an accumulation pattern. This one's starting to work towards getting into an accumulation phase. It looks powerful. Warren Buffett likes this company. The longer trace I was, the better. I would just love a pull back down to here, but right now I don't have any positions in Stone Co. Limited. But if you do, always let me know. Anytime you're ever at anything that I look at, you're welcome to tell me. I'll put it on the chart. Fuel cell, get wrecked. Good gap down on earnings, good close, and I think that could go down lower. We can see that pulling to $2 pretty easily. This was one that we were looking at yesterday just to see what it does on earnings, and this is what it does on earnings. Sell off. So move on from fuel cell. We're looking at going long, so no big deal. Pet Med Express. Who's excited about doing this one again? Pet Med Express. Time for another put sale. Oh, already closed Thinkorswim. I'm only on my laptop. Can you guys tell me what the strike price is premium for 22 October? $22.50 Pet Med Express. 30 cents. All right, did it for 35. Could do it again for 30. Good old chip in a chair. We sold it before. We could probably do it again. Maybe even for 35 cents for October. Strong possibility. And yeah, I like the candles. I really like this hammer. Wow, I like this chart. I like this setup a lot. I love it. It just came back to the exact same place that it bounced last time, you know? Same price. So someone's intrigued down here. So I'm looking at doing a put sale and some shares. All right, Fastly. Sorry, pets we'll put on the list for tomorrow. I can't remember if Fastly's on the list, but I'll definitely put on the list for tomorrow. Nope, not on the list for today. On the list for tomorrow, though, it is. I will definitely check it out. Okay. Perfect. Awesome job, team. Next on the list is Oracle, which is ticker symbol ORCL. And Oracle, nice morning star. Nice gap, bouncing off its thing. Here's the weekly chart, chopping around, trading sideways. Be bullish longer term on Oracle. Doesn't look sexy at all, but it's kind of like the food here at the hotel. It's not the worst we've ever had. It's not the best either. It gets the job done. After you eat it, you go, I have had food today. So that's kind of like what this chart looks like on Oracle. All right, next on the list, Activision. So I did take some leaps on Activision, and this Morning Star looks amazing. I love this Morning Star off the 100. I heard Sochi's in Activision, but that's just a rumor, right? Don't know if that's actually true. It is, it's true. She's in it. Nice pullback to the 100. That's where I got in, and I am up on those calls. I have to check. I actually don't precisely remember what calls I'm in on Activision, but I believe I'm in the 100 January 2022. I know I'm in a leap. I'll just go pull up Activate or Thinkorswim to check. But yeah, definitely in a leap on Activision. I think it's the 100 2022 calls. Anyway, I like how it's consolidating. We did make new all-time highs. That's the thing. We've made new all-time highs if you adjust the chart for dividends. If you take the charts off of dividends, we didn't make another all-time high. We haven't closed above there yet. So I like the fact that we made a new all-time high. We didn't buy up there. We're just buying the pullback. We pull back into the 100. A lot of stocks haven't, and I dig it. So this pullback kind of reminds me of the one that we had back in May, but it's even steeper than that on Activision. So I like it. All right, XPEV. Yeah, nice gap up today. A new baby 10 EMA was born today on XPEV, weighing 20 pounds and 13 ounces. That's probably going to be the target if you're looking at trading XPEV. One white soldier today, nice high wave candle, inside bearish candle, gap up. I'm going to put down the list for tomorrow morning for our day trading and see if we can carve out that quick little move up into the 10. All right, GLNG, Goler Limited. This is one that got requested, and weekly looks like it's about to close above that 50. It's a pretty volatile stock. Long terms, monthly. Okay. Did you like the volume? Strong volume breakout, good close. Let's come back to it tomorrow. Let's see if we can get a pullback. It's retesting the 200 a lot. This one has a little bit of strength. Looks a little different than the broader market. I like it. All right, GLNG, got it. Next on the list, Restoration Hardware is going Banana Town, or went Banana Town today. Yeah, already went Banana Town. So Restoration Hardware gapped up today on earnings, I believe. And wow, that one looks different than the market. That is for sure. You got an unfilled gap back here at 222. Don't think that gap's ever going to fill in Restoration Hardware. Whoo! Wow. Straight up moon Lambo. That's some expensive lamps. Wow. That's all they sell is lamps, by the way, right? That's it. Just no, I'm just kidding. They sell some other stuff. But yeah, Restoration Hardware. We'll see if it pulls back. That's a buy the dip type of gap, though, for sure. Decent one to be strong. Yeah. Wow. Okay. Restoration Hardware on the list for next week. Okay. I already looked at Overstock. Zoom. So I am in on a position on Zoom, ladies and gentlemen. 420, 620, January 2022, bull call spread. I like the Morning Star. I like the gap. I like the fact that the gap has not filled. And I'm really trying to pay off my Zoom annual bill on this trade. We'll see if it works. Maybe it does. Maybe it won't. Dale shaking his head that it won't. But I'm trying, Dale. I'm trying. I'm doing my best, man. By the way, folks, there's my boy Dale right there. Such a pure champion. I like the trend. I like the chart. I do like the fact that this gap has not filled. We all know how Zoom makes money. We all use it. Look at that trend. Their price to sales was bad a year ago. So it can't be any better. Well, 83, still a little bit high. Wow. Dude, can you believe that? Matt, the market cap of Zoom is already 111 billion. That's amazing how quickly that happened. Jeez. Sales quarter to quarter. They have no debt? Wow, no debt. Where do we see that? Boom, zero right there. Zero debt, because they got created and founded by, I believe, this chief technology officer of GoToMeeting way back when. So he kind of brought a lot of his GoToMeeting money over and was like, let's start a communication company. Good for him. 111 billion with an L already. 147% sales quarter over quarter, 73% gross margin. Looks like we can keep slowly growing. We can see, this can keep going. My boy Chris says it's going to, so that's how you know it will, folks. There it is, Zoom, not bearish on it. And Spotify. So Spotify, if you got filled on the January rebuy, all we're doing is rebuying what we bought in before. So we bought those back here. We sold them up here, rebuying them. January 2022, $300 calls. If you're looking at playing those leaps on Spotify, that could be a play that you make if you want to. And yeah, team, that's pretty much what I got. So one other one, I will look at Fastly. That seems like a very reasonable thing to do. Fastly is gapping down very, very small pre-market, nothing too crazy. But we are gapping down small. I wonder if it's on, yeah, okay volume, nothing too wild. But most likely it'll gap down, trade down. I really like Fastly to pull back down to 73.88. Chop around this zone for a while and then eventually goes higher. It does need to fill this gap though. Fastly does need to eventually fill this gap. That won't be an amazing thing if it doesn't. So I think we're going to watch Fastly tomorrow morning on the day trading list too. Just because I know my buddy Josiah likes to trade Fastly a lot, and him and I want to make some money on it tomorrow. So we will watch Fastly. And my dear friends, that is the list for today. Tomorrow, what would you find folks like to look at? GoGo, Beyond Meat, Can Do, DraftKings, ZNGA, CNGA, Zillow, definitely can look at Zillow, REKR, Square, Boeing, Netflix, Apple, CHWY, PIN, Pelothean, Tesla. All right, we can look at Norwegian again, sure. AZUL, LMND, we haven't looked at that one in a while, that's fine. AMD, Teladoc, DVAX, absolutely easy. NNOX was requested, Fastly, Pets, McDonald's, Gold, CCC, Tezos, Tyson, and GLNG. All right, team. Looks good to me. Thank you all for being here. I really appreciate your time and energy, thoughts, love, and growth. And I appreciate you all enriching lives with me. Thank you so much. And until next time, love life, and trade it. You all rock. Goodbye.